Hello, hi guys, welcome to Doc's Podcast. I'm Dr. Ellie here.
And I'm Dr. Inky, and welcome to the podcast. We have two medical doctors generally talk about things which are non-medical, but sometimes we cover medical topics as well.
Yeah, sometimes related, sometimes not.
Yeah.
Last week we were talking about
Productivity
5
hacks.
Productivity hacks.
Yes.
If you missed it and you want to know how you can save at least almost an
hour a day.
Hour a day.
Free up an hour a day.
Free up an hour and be more productive in your daily work, not necessarily just work, even in your life. Go check it out. Last week's episode. 5 productivity hacks. Now, this week, we're just going to shake it up a little bit. Something a bit more light-hearted, something fun. So recently, there's been a lot that's going on about ChatGPT and AI.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
It's a huge, big thing. Although now I think it's dying down a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of the hype is kind of dying down because they realize that what so-called AI, not really as
Still
AI.
artificial, artificial.
Yeah, it's artificial, not so intelligent.
Not that
intelligent. Yeah.
But running on this similar topic, right? So that time when ChatGPT came out, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, my job's going to be at risk,"
Yes.
and they were saying it managed to sit for a medical exam.
Yes, that's
and
right.
Also pass the
medical
bar,
exam, pass the bar, and you actually managed to do a lot of, I would say, easy tasks.
Easy tasks, things which are already in the internet, consolidated, and it gives it to you.
Yes.
So a lot of people felt threatened.
Yeah, a lot of people felt threatened.
And for a while, even some people were riding on that bandwagon and using it to do work.
That's right.
Right. So this week we're going to talk something similar. We're going to talk about how and whether robots will take over your job.
The robots will take over your job. Okay.
Now, I was just watching a couple of these video clips the other day, and it's very interesting that robots nowadays are moving more and more towards RoboCop-like. They've managed to make them into very multifunctional. They can have a lot of range of movements. In fact, the movements are trying to mimic a lot of human movements, human-like movements.
Yep.
And you've got these people who do latex sculpture. And they sculpt out this latex figure and they put it over like some Mission Impossible thing. And it has all sorts of movement, facial expression, mouth movement, teeth, and even the patting of the eyelids.
Yeah. So I think going back, it is when certain religions, right? They say that humans were created. I wouldn't say created, but they were imprinted from the image of the creator.
Yeah.
And now, because it's robots, we are the creator.
We are the creator.
So now we are imprinting our image onto the robots.
Right?
Yes,
onto the robots. Right. Yeah, but it's just interesting how they've now trying to mimic more and more as it to be human-like. And whether one day it's going to take over our jobs or take over a lot of things. Have you seen this movie, Passengers?
Passengers, yes, the one featuring Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. And there's this part whereby, if you guys haven't watched the movie, go check it out. It's quite nice. There's this part where he goes to the bar and he's talking with the bartender, who imparts a lot of knowledge and bar talk advice, bartender advice. Now, actually, whatever he says, right, it's not like as if it's not out there.
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Whatever he says, the bartender, that general advice he gives, if you type it out, right, it's already in all the Google quotations.
Yeah, it's probably if you do a quick Google search, you can get thousands of
these quotes. Yeah. But it's just that it's put in such a way that it's so apt, so ngam at the time when he's expressing himself. Plus, making a drink is just chemical A plus chemical B plus chemical C, shake it up and put it into a glass.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you're making a drink, all of these measurements are already fixed measurements.
In fact, they can be even more fixed.
Yeah, it can even be more fixed. Actually, it's like making coffee. Nowadays you don't actually make coffee by hand; it's all done by machine.
Yep.
So bartendering can be substituted just by a simple machine.
Correct.
I just punch in a particular code, right? It makes me a margarita.
Yes.
Punch in another one, it makes me another mocktail.
Now you just need human emotions.
Yeah.
And if a guy already has about 3 or 4 drinks, not much difference between talking to a robot who has a bit of emotion to a human that's not going to respond to you.
That's right.
So I would say, right, certain jobs are going to be at risk.
I would say certain jobs will definitely be at risk, especially jobs whereby it's, not much thinking needed.
Yeah.
Jobs without much thinking needed, those are usually at risk.
Like the waiter robots that is already in place.
Yes, it is already in place. That's
now,
right.
When the waiter robot comes, now what it does, it serves. Some places they even let you choose. Now, the only thing missing, which I'm sure it's easy to upgrade, is you ask the robot, what is today's recommendation?
That's right.
Because you ask the human, there's only two answers. Everything nice, and I don't know.
Well, I think McDonald's is really doing that. Actually, most of the McDonald's you go to, right, you no longer order from a person, you order from a screen. So imagine that screen is now just a robot. You can substitute the screen with a friendly robot face, right? And then you just talk, and then the robot will just give you feedback.
Yeah. And it's just programming anyway.
Yeah, it's just programming. Yeah, exactly.
It's not that difficult to program one software and 50 terminals will respond. Hello, sir. Would you? No, you ask.
Yeah.
What is today's? What do you recommend? And the feedback they ask is, what's your preference? Do you like chicken or do you like fish? Then from there they just tell you.
Correct.
We'll give you the filet of fish. What's it got? It's got this tartar sauce with succulent soft buns and blah blah blah. Again, another job that.
Yeah, it is. But I think a lot of jobs can't be taken over by robots, especially a lot of jobs that requires very skillful soft benders back and forth. All right, and as well as certain jobs that requires more of a physical, I would say physical touch. All right, example, we know that keying in orders is simple, right? But we still have salespeople in place, right? Unfortunately, a lot of things that the salespeople do, even they themselves, most of the time, even they don't know what exactly goes on. But they can close sales, they can talk, right? They can make small talk, they can banter back and forth.
Yeah.
And I feel like these kind of things, right? If you want a robot to do it, we are probably hundreds of years away from it. Because again, it's easy to buy something. All right, it's easy to buy something, especially this day and age with
But it's the
e-commerce and
experience,
all.
I think.
But the experience of going to a shop,
Yeah.
talking to someone, right? Getting them to recommend, getting an actual person to actually recommend for you to you, and knowing that this person is actually a genuine person.
Now,
rather than
put it the other way
screen.
around. Let's say you're gonna buy a new car, Inky, right? And then you go up to this guy and then you ask him a couple of questions. Versus, let's say I have a robot, right, that comes and then when it talks to you, right? Yes, a bit less expressive. He's probably not gonna ask you how's your day and what job you do, and then say, oh, you're a doctor. Oh, you're that famous Dr. Inky. Oh, actually, he probably could.
You probably could
Search and
Probably
say,
could.
are you Dr. Inky? Search your face.
Yeah, you probably could. As you're walking in, scan your face. You probably could.
Probably could, right?
Yep.
Right? And then maybe not as much banter connection, but anything you ask, it can give you more info. It can even pop up the screen and say the door, how it works, and the features inside, blah, blah, blah.
True.
And of course, the thing that we always look for is discounts.
Yeah, true.
And what if we pre-program that the robot to say, actually, you can give him up to 6.5% discount based on what he asks you.
That is true. However, a good salesperson can read more than that. They can read minor shifts in
eye
body
movements.
language, right? Body language, the particular intonation, whether a person is interested or disinterested. And they have ways of drawing the person back, right? Putting back at the right path. And I feel that robots till today, they can't do that because robots, yes, they can. Robots are just black and white.
Yep.
All right, it's just yes or no. It's binary. It's in the code. It's ones and zeros.
Yep.
But a lot of things that humans do are in the gray zone. And because it's still in the gray zone, I would say there are a lot of jobs that robots still can't take away. All right. Of course, I would say that maybe robots can make the jobs a little bit easier.
Yeah.
All right, and make it slightly easier. But I would say certain things you can't really take away. All right. Another thing is probably even as something as simple as a lawyer.
Okay.
Now,
Fair
lawyers
enough.
work
Yeah.
through by understanding the law.
Correct.
Right? The law is fixed in stone, all right?
Correct.
Or fixed in writing.
Correct.
You can't deviate from the law.
Yes.
Right?
But you can read
you can
the other party.
Yeah, you can interpret the law a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And so even something as clear as law, which is black and white written, right? You don't have robots doing it. You still have people doing it, right? Because it's how you represent someone, how you interpret the data or the law,
And how you trigger the other party.
and how you actually trigger the other party. Because again, they use a lot of emotional blackmailing and emotional threatening, right? And these are the things that I think robots still can't do it.
Yeah, they probably can just check those past notes and give you a summary of the whole case files.
Yeah. So imagine a judge, right? It's a robot, right? It's not a human, right? So
Black or white.
Yeah, the
Black
judge
or
is
white.
black and white.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
present everything to the judge will say, okay, guilty or not guilty, or okay, I rule in favor of the defendant or the other party, right? it takes away the fun. I'll say it takes away the fun, right? Because again, the ruling itself, as a judge, there is a lot of things that plays into it. That's why a lot of times when the punishments are met outright, there's in the law
There's
they tell
a
you
leniency.
no, in the law they tell you is
10 years.
it's 2 to 10 years,
Yep.
right? It's not fixed like 5 years.
Yep.
It's 2 to 10 years
Yep.
because it really depends on the leniency of the judge, whether the judge is very strict or very lenient.
A fun fact though, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they said if you ever want to plead leniency with a judge, there is a higher chance that you get a better leniency of buying them lunch before they do the judgment than to do an emotional plea on them.
As in you buy them lunch?
I mean, so to speak, if the judge was going to be presiding the case when on a empty stomach, they will be more likely to be more emotional against you.
Oh, really? So always have your case
Either early,
right after lunch.
either right after breakfast or right after lunch.
Okay, right after breakfast or right after lunch.
Don't go for that 11 o'clock, 11:30 or 12 o'clock case.
Okay. Understood.
One more. All right. So the others I think are quite clear cut. Two actually. One, doctors. If it comes down to surgery, would you like the robot do it for you?
To be honest, personally, I've seen
Not the diagnostic, but the surgery.
Yeah. Personally, I've seen so many surgeons operate. I would actually like a robot to operate on me. Not because of what? It's because
Less fatigue.
Yes, there's less fatigue needed. All right. So because doctors are humans, and imagine again in your case, which you mentioned earlier, imagine if you're the first case in operation in the OT schedule. Of course, the doctor is fresh.
Yep.
All right. But imagine if you're the last case, the doctor has operated like 3 other patients, and you are case number 4. Doctor just wants to go home. He wants to, he wants to rest. He's probably hungry, and he probably wants to just rush through the op. And because of that, probably the outcome is not as favorable. All right. Well, there might be mistakes made.
Or it'll be prolonged.
Or a little bit prolonged.
But
But there's a flip side to it. It's because we know that the human anatomy and the human physiology have some quirks
and
right?
variations.
Right? There's a lot of variations.
Yeah.
And there are some variations whereby it's not even in textbooks.
Yep.
And well, a human doctor or human surgeon can react to it using their best judgment. But if you have a robot or an AI which is just programmed ones and zeros, they might not be able to adapt to that change in variation, and they might make a huge mistake.
That's true. So, a very simple example, appendix.
Yes.
Yeah. So generally it's on the right side.
Yeah.
But even then, the appendix has different locations.
Yeah, there's different locations.
Different locations.
Different lengths, different locations. It can be, you can even move, right?
Okay, last one. Whether robots can replace love or be a substitute. Now, I ask this because humans nowadays are getting more and more disengaged. So disengaged that they don't even know how to socialize with people.
I would say it's possible to love a robot.
Yeah.
It is possible.
I mean, as a kid, a lot of kids love their soft toys.
Yeah.
So,
in Japan,
adults in certain countries love their toys.
Yeah,
love their dolls.
Yeah. There are some countries whereby they actually marry dolls.
Yeah.
Now, I would say the reason why I think that humans can love robots, right, is because imagine you have a long distance relationship, or you're doing like online dating. Majority of the time, you've never met the other person. You're just chatting.
Yep.
Imagine
you're having a mental expectation.
Yes, you're having a fantasy,
emotional expectation.
Exactly. So imagine you're chatting with the person, and there are a lot of times where people fall in love or they're infatuated with the other person they're chatting with, but they've never met the person.
Yeah.
And imagine on the other side, it's just a robot chatting back to you.
Yeah.
Right. So it is possible to actually fall in love.
And a lot of times people fall in love because their needs are fulfilled.
Yes.
Daily tasks are done for them, or it's gentle banter. Even just saying, "Good morning, you look handsome today." Do it enough, right? You might feel no one else compliments me except for this robot.
Yeah. Have you watched this movie, The Blade Runner, the 2049?
Oh, not yet.
All right, you should watch it.
Okay.
All right, because every household has an AI. All right, so the AI is programmed to how the person like it.
Right.
And it is possible to fall in love with the AI.
Have you seen Lars and the Real Girl?
No, I haven't seen it.
Ryan Gosling is slightly mental challenged adult, and he falls in love with a blow-up doll
Oh,
and brings her everywhere.
oh. It's the same context with the Blade Runner. It's also Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling, you're falling in love with AIs and robots.
And dolls. So anyway, I did promise this is just a fun topic, but something
light.
to think about.
Yes.
And because it all started from a video I saw with this robot, like I said, looking more and more human-like, and they were actually dressing up as seductive women. Seductive women, and the tagline or the caption was, "Would you actually know if you're dating a real person now soon?" So that kind of triggered there might be a possibility.
There is a very high possibility.
So don't worry, in case if it does not replace your work, it can replace and fulfill your other needs.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this will probably fulfill a lot of other people's needs faster than your job being replaced.
Exactly, because there are a lot of people that seek companionship.
Correct. And this one won't fight back.
Yes, this
And if they do, just switch off the battery.
or send it back for a refund.
Unplug. Right. See you guys next week. If you actually think this is quite possible, or if you feel there is a possibility that you might fall in love with a robot, and I know a lot of you actually fell in love with Siri for a while. You start talking to Siri and asking funny questions. Drop us a line. Is there an option to put anonymous?
No, I don't think so.
Well, be brave and drop us a line and
just comment below.
We'll love to comment. Yeah. Coming up, I think in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna have some interesting topic. I'm trying to bring Zeus,
Zeus Coffee
owner,
right?
And we're gonna have a chat with with two guys, or actually one of them, and how they've created an empire all by themselves.
Exactly.
All right, till then, see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.